Alright, so you got false prophets, you got real prophets, right? What is false prophets? False prophets is people that lead people astray. That means that they conquer the world by conquering their mind, and they may not have the discipline combined to actually free the world. So they just come down here for visitation sometimes, because what we are travelers. Us being travelers, we soul travelers. Soul actually is another word for sun, and that's where sources of energy come from. Because we rise and we, you know what I'm saying? It's the sun that sets everybody, and then the moon is the one that's the tide. That's the actual 10% tide and offering. So when they talk about Lucifer, that's the morning star, the morning shift. You know what I'm saying? 8 hours. I done described it. That's the 1/3 of the day. So now I break down the riddles that's in the Bible because I'm not false prophesizing if I'm speaking from a different dimension, but I can tell you how people are speaking from a one level dimension of the book or from 2 or 3D. You gotta listen to the words that they say and how they read out the chapters because it's already a voodoo book. So are they actually telling the truth of this book to get their fortune, or are they misleading people to get their fame? You know what I'm saying? Because they getting the fame and fortune, which they told you that lies within the devil's nectar. Okay, the devil's nectar, the devil lived. The devil lived backwards. So it's always somebody that got to retrace steps. So everyone had some type of demonic moment because we all have duality. Us having duality, we wasn't trained correct. Us not being trained correct, we got misled. So that's like Lilo and Stitch, you know what I'm saying? Stitches get snitches, you know what no, snitches get stitches, and that's what the snitch dog, you know, the Stitch dog, the alien dog that's coming to the planet to let people know that the dog nature has to be reversed to find the God entity inside of our curse, because every curse is a blessing to learn a lesson. And when they figure that out, then they gonna stop stressing, because you can only get to that ninth dimension by harnessing your gift, and your gift and power is this voice, because it's from a voice box. And not only that, it's different levels of communication that we got with all of our senses, and they don't tell you all the senses in school. They only tell you six to keep us a fool, because it's more that's outside of that rule. It's a rule of earth that's around us, and then it's a universe that's surrounded, and we just grounded. We got sent here, or we came here by permission. If we came here by permission, we already can envision our vision. So mine is to just tell people the wisdom of what that book means. So what Moses was, right? All right. We're going to go to Abraham first. Abraham is the one that sacrificed the ram. With the ram being sacrificed, that saved Isaac's life. And with it saving Isaac's life, he ain't paid a price. So he had Jacob. Jacob ended up having, you know what I'm saying, what? Israel, which is Isis, Ra, Elohim. I'm fucking up because I'm listening to myself and it's just a stream. Yeah. Back to the dream. All right, so the bread and butter is knowing each other. So, all right, Israel, Isis, Ra, Elohim. Elohim mean many gods. So the Egyptians had many gods they worship. And then when it got to the Ramsey, Pharaoh Ramsey, right? That's the ram. But what happened was the lamb, the sacrifice came with his son paying the price, because it was not God's will, but it was Moses' drill. And what he did was he thou shalt not kill. And it ended up taking the child of the Pharaoh. And then Moses brought the Taurus, which is the golden bull era, and Taurus in Greek mythology is Tartarus. So he brought hellfire amongst the kingdom, and when he did that, that ended up making a circumstances of laws where the Israelites had to bite the jaws, because they had to reap what they sowed and pay what they owed. So then what ended up happening after that was they lost in the desert, found the Canaanites, and they also took life. He sent Joshua. Joshua then had to bring the blood of Christ, because what happens was it was war after war. You know what I'm saying? With war after war, it didn't stop. And when Jesus came, that's the king of the crop, because what he did was he said, I'm putting down all arms so my family don't get hurt. And that brought a rebirth to the earth, because all he wanted us to do was love each other, thy neighbor and his mother. His mother Mary is the Marriott. That's the whole being that what we hear on. Like, this world is a yacht. You know what I'm saying? You guys see it as a boat. Everybody on different ships. Everybody on different ships because we lost the communication. They put us apart mentally, so we can't think together. You know what I'm saying? We can't even go to bars most of the time and drink together. The music be so loud that it goes into your skull, and then it shuts up, and then something else starts to mold. I'm trying to dig a hole. You know what I'm saying? Get you out there, rabbit. So now, Jesus being a sacrificial lamb, when you go back before the birth of Ham, you had Noah, and before Noah, it was kids of Enoch, the kids of Enoch. If you ever look up Tubal Cain was the first sacrificial lamb. That was the one that didn't want to be in this earth, and he disguised himself as one of the herds. So when they shot that arrow, it took him down, and then the eyes over the sparrow. This is Apollo creating the bow and arrow. So Apollyon is the destroyer, but that's also the word for Abandon, and Abandon is the word for the angel that David had that served, because when the angel came down for David, he actually cleared the town, because abandon actually deals with the issues of how it sound, abandonment issues, because we are a band of instruments that's constructing, and you know what I'm saying, with us being construction, we forget that our organs are the instruments that's going to guide us, and by guiding us, the people that lost hope just look at everybody as if they broke and can't be fixed, and that's when they start to rope, you know what I'm saying. Look at how Europe is with the rope in the middle, how they hung us from trees, and then they put all these riddles, and that's why it's hard to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? It's too many math equations, but Moses spoke in numbers because that's the osmosis of the brain, and the osmosis of the brain know that I came back because I was born black, but born black is not just black in skin, but I got a heritage within, and the heritage with a lineage. The lineage is like Samson line, where they cut off his hair, and that's what ignited the rhyme, because Delilah's betrayal still brought the Holy Grail. You know what I'm saying? Samson came from Solomon, and Solomon came from David. And if you look at how each one of them messed up, they had to sell a seed. Selling the seed meant that they gave it to a woman for her need, and giving it to a woman for her need brought another family that was split in between. So it just kept making different lines, different strings. And with it making different strings, I done cut every rope that these puppets got, because I still preach from the hope. And I ain't one of the goats. I'm just another lamb. I'm just here telling the message, because I'm not the Kazam. I'm not the one that's going to bring the magic. Jesus still out here, but you got to find him in traffic. It's juice. It's the Zeus. You know what I'm saying? It's the Zeus, the juice, the one that ignites the cranial nerves so you can watch and observe. If somebody can't look you straight in the eye, they got to look away when they lie. They got to look up when they shy. They got to look down when they high. It don't matter. They still not going to look you straight to straight. And when you understand that, that ends the conversation and debate, because you can feel the spirit of other people, because sometimes it might ignite or it may negate. And if it negate, they hold in that gate where you can't get to the temple and you ain't driving straight. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we leave from left to right, and then you done left the right path to go right back to what you done left to see the other half. And my birthday 1020, so y'all do the math. Because 1020, if you look at math, with the few that's going to understand or see the view, they're going to get that the Father is speaking through you. You got to look that chapter up. It's not for him that speaks, but it's for his Father, because we always inherit our Father's sin, and then our mother blend to look back at the gene. That's the genesis, to know the genealogy of within. We all came from Adam and Eve, so we all birthed into sin. And the sin is a sensation. So when people lose their thrill, what they got to do? They got to take everybody else's spiel. And that's why I say the First Amendment is right. But then when you get to the second one, you got to think twice, because the right to bear arms just mean that you looking at everybody like this is a form. And if you got bare arms, then how you going to get your shit? I don't know, man. Them dudes, that's the dudes that can't choke the chickens no more and shit like that. So they be like, I gotta get a weapon, protection. And then within the skin, they forget that the fist is how you just go ahead and use your holy, I messed up at it. I was trying to keep it flowing, but you know what I'm saying? I was like, dang, is anybody gonna get to the end of this? I don't know if anybody gonna get, if you got to the end of this comment,